Every December, a festive atmosphere envelops the home of Trevor and Jess as they engage in their cherished tradition of adorning their space with beautiful Christmas decorations. The process is marked by joy and anticipation, with the highlight being the moment their daughter, Maddie, places the star atop the tree, symbolizing a family bond and the spirit of the season. However, as time passes and Maddie matures, her enthusiasm for this annual ritual begins to wane. Trevor, living alone in a modest home in Hertfordshire, clings to his cherished Christmas traditions despite the challenges of his recent divorce. With his home lacking reliable electricity, he ingeniously uses a coin to power it temporarily, showcasing his determination to create a festive atmosphere. As he engages in the joyful act of decorating a Christmas tree, he indulges in sweets from an advent calendar, finding comfort in these small rituals. Trevor steps outside into the cold, hoping to get better phone reception as he speaks with Jess. His excitement about the upcoming holiday visit from his family is palpable, and he eagerly anticipates showing them around. However, Jess swiftly changes the tone of the conversation by delivering unexpected news. She reveals that she and Maddie will not be spending the holidays with Trevor, as they have made plans to travel to Barbados instead. Jess's new boyfriend has a villa there, and he generously offered to cover the costs for Maddie, which adds another layer of surprise to Trevor's already shaken plans. The call leaves Trevor momentarily stunned as he processes the implications of their absence during what was meant to be a festive gathering. In a tense atmosphere, a conversation unfolds where one character expresses concern over college expenses, prompting another to assert, with false confidence, that financial support is manageable. The underlying tension is palpable as the truth about mounting debts remains unspoken, creating a facade that contrasts sharply with the character's actual situation. This moment captures the struggle between appearance and reality. As the festive ambiance of the Christmas celebrations fills the local school, Trevor, facing the disappointment of losing his job, immerses himself in organizing the event for one last time. The principal, aware of his impending exit, calls him to her office for a farewell toast, reminiscing about their time together and inquiring about his future plans, to which Trevor admits he has none. Amidst the preparations, a sudden ring at the door catches his attention, leading to the unexpected discovery of a baby nestled in a basket. The presence of the baby, intended for the nativity scene, is explained by a teacher, who informs Trevor that it belongs to a mother who graciously offered her child for the occasion. With a sense of responsibility, Trevor gently places the baby in the manger, setting the stage for the play to commence, while he takes on the role of overseeing the music and sound to enhance the festive experience. A high-paying house-sitting job opportunity arises for Trevor, leading him to experience a moment of shock and excitement. As he pulls on a rope to raise a star for a performance, he receives a call from a familiar house-sitting company. The astonishing salary mentioned during the conversation catches him off guard, causing him to accidentally release the rope, resulting in the star crashing onto the stage and startling the children present. This incident piques his interest in the job, prompting Trevor to consider the financial benefit, especially with the looming expenses of Maddie's college education. With the event concluded, he makes his way out of the school, but a moment of hesitation compels him to return. A crying sound draws attention to a baby left behind in a school. Trevor picks up the infant and rushes to the principal's office, searching the directory for the parents' contact information. With no response from the calls made, frustration mounts as he realizes he must travel to London, yet the parents remain unreachable. In a surprising twist, upon arriving at the mother's home, Trevor learns that she is not the one who abandoned the child. She had been unable to take her to the play due to illness. This revelation reveals that the baby in the basket at the school was indeed left behind. In a desperate attempt to resolve the situation, Trevor seeks assistance from the principal, who is unavailable, and the police, who inform him that help will not arrive for several hours. He then turns to social services, finally managing to connect with someone willing to intervene. As he attempts to prepare for the agency's arrival, the baby unexpectedly disappears, prompting a desperate search throughout the house. Despite his efforts, when the social services agent finally arrives, he discovers the basket is empty, leading the agent to suspect Trevor's sanity. Misunderstanding the chaos, the agent leaves his card, advising Trevor to contact him if the baby is found. Just as Trevor locates the child hidden beneath a table, he realizes the agent is already leaving, and his attempts to reach out go unanswered. Faced with mounting frustration, he decides to take the baby to the social services office, only to find it closed. A further attempt to call the police is thwarted by poor reception and a dying phone battery, leaving Trevor with no options as he grapples with the baby in his care. Arriving at a luxurious building in London, Trevor discreetly conceals a baby within his backpack to avoid drawing attention from Petra, who is there to showcase the penthouse. While waiting in the lobby, he ensures that the infant remains hidden as he prepares to meet Petra. As they enter the elevator, the baby starts making cooing noises, prompting Trevor to awkwardly mimic the sounds to keep Petra from suspecting anything. Upon reaching the stunning penthouse, Trevor is taken aback by its elegance. However, the baby's noises persist, leading Trevor to shake his body in an attempt to soothe the child, which inadvertently results in a loud fart from the baby. To maintain his cover, Trevor feigns that the noise originated from himself. Petra then asks him to set the bag down, which he does. The tour of the penthouse begins, filled with potential mishaps. As Petra guides Trevor through the luxurious penthouse, the atmosphere is both elegant and tense, with an abundance of rooms that seem to echo the grandeur of the space. In a moment of chaos, the baby escapes from the bag, crawling away unnoticed as the adults remain unaware of the unfolding mischief. Trevor, attempting to keep the situation under control, hides the baby's bottle within a vase, feigning interest in the art around him. As Petra continues her tour, Trevor frantically searches for the baby, eventually stashing him inside a trash can to avoid detection. After Petra leaves, Trevor discovers a peculiar remote control that animates a statue on the balcony, adding to the surreal quality of the penthouse. Amidst the distractions, Trevor receives a call from the police officer regarding the baby's pickup, only to realize that his recent move complicates matters, requiring him to reach out to the London police. After a chaotic turn of events, a frantic search leads to the realization that a baby needs a diaper change. In a moment of creativity, a luxurious shawl is repurposed as an improvised diaper held in place with office clips. Following a quick bath, the soiled shawl is disposed of on the balcony, and a quest for nourishment begins as Trevor retrieves a bottle from a vase, only to find the milk supply dwindling. This prompts a trip to the supermarket, where Trevor uses a produce scale to weigh the baby, ensuring he selects the appropriate jar of baby food. Struggling to manage groceries and a baby, a shopping cart becomes essential for the return home. A phone call from social services reveals that plans are in place for the baby's future, but the evening takes another turn as another diaper change is needed, leading to more shawls being utilized in this humorous situation. As night falls, Trevor carefully places the baby in a basket, hoping for a peaceful night's rest. However, the tranquility is shattered when the baby starts crying, prompting Trevor to spring into action. He tries a variety of methods to soothe the little one, including singing softly and bouncing on the bed, but each attempt proves futile. The tension mounts until, after a loud burp, the baby finally settles down, allowing Trevor a brief moment of respite. Just as he thinks the crisis is averted, the baby cries out again after being placed back in the basket. Desperate for a solution, Trevor rummages through the penthouse and discovers a bottle of champagne. He cleverly decides to use the cork as a pacifier, and to his delight, it works like a charm, lulling the baby into a deep sleep. However, the peace is short-lived, as the following morning, the baby wakes up again, spitting out the cork and crying anew. A chaotic morning unfolds as Trevor faces a diaper shortage while attempting to enjoy a peaceful breakfast. After realizing there is only one diaper left, he hastily places an online order for more supplies, discarding the filthy ones onto the balcony in a moment of frustration. Just as he settles down to eat, the tranquility is shattered by the relentless beeping of a kitchen timer. The situation escalates when Trevor discovers that the curious baby has taken an interest in the stairs, prompting an urgent dash to prevent any potential mishaps. As a delivery guy arrives, Trevor hastily abandons an abandoned baby on the floor to rush to the bell system, grappling with which button to press. After retrieving his order just in time, he returns only to realize his blunder of leaving the fob behind. Meanwhile, the baby starts to explore, climbing the stairs. Remembering that the cleaner has a spare fob, Trevor attempts to reach her for assistance, but discovers he also left his phone in the apartment. Just then, a fellow tenant named Lionel enters, allowing him to borrow his phone to contact the cleaner, Elsa. While waiting for her response, Trevor joins Lionel and his family for lunch, completely unaware of the looming chaos that awaits him as Georgia, another tenant, leaves a message expressing concern over his silence. After acquiring the elevator fob from Elsa, Trevor is momentarily distracted and accidentally leaves his newly purchased diapers in the reception area, resulting in his lockout from the elevator once more. As he attempts to rectify this, a baby in the penthouse begins to explore the expansive space, discovering various features of the apartment, including the intriguing laundry chute. Meanwhile, Trevor rushes through the streets in search of Elsa, who has already activated the elevator and left for a cafe. In the elevator, a tenant arrives with a dog that mischievously snatches Trevor's shoe, further complicating his efforts to regain access. As the baby continues its exploration, it becomes clear that the situation is spiraling out of Trevor's control, blending chaos and humor in this luxurious penthouse setting. Trevor's day takes a chaotic turn as he navigates through the luxury penthouse, searching for the source of a child's laughter. Following the sound, he rushes into the laundry room just in time to catch a baby tumbling out of the laundry chute, a moment filled with both relief and disbelief. Later that evening, Trevor reaches out to Georgia, leaving a voicemail that outlines the unexpected situation. Shortly after, he receives a call from Maddie, who shares that her flight to Barbados has been canceled due to inclement weather. She expresses her desire to spend Christmas with her father instead. However, their conversation takes an abrupt pause when an announcement regarding the Barbados flight interrupts, prompting her to hang up quickly. As the night deepens, Trevor hears the elevator doors open, and he investigates, sensing that more surprises await him in the penthouse. In a bustling urban setting, a mix of confusion and urgency unfolds, as Trevor realizes a significant mistake has been made. After a brief interaction with a couple who are horrified to find that the baby they have is not theirs, Trevor springs into action. He rushes outside to confront Georgia, who is entangled in a dispute with law enforcement over a parking ticket. Seizing the opportunity while she is distracted, he swiftly retrieves the correct baby from her car and hurries back to the penthouse. However, disaster strikes in the elevator when he accidentally drops the key fob into the shaft, but luck is on his side as he recalls the extra fob he had taken from the couple earlier. Once back in the apartment, he deftly swaps the babies before making his way back outside, only to discover that Georgia has already left, prompting him to leave a voicemail in a state of urgency. A sudden change of plans unfolds as Trevor receives a call indicating that the penthouse owners will be arriving for Christmas, prompting him to remain until the housekeeper, Janet, arrives. Although reassured of payment, Trevor faces a daunting task when Janet, currently in Scotland, instructs him to handle the shopping using a credit card found in the kitchen. An extensive shopping list is sent directly to the printer, leading Trevor to navigate the aisles, overwhelmed with the sheer volume of items he must purchase. The situation intensifies as Georgia realizes a baby is missing from her vehicle, prompting her to alert the authorities, who issue an emergency alert. After managing to bring an enormous haul of groceries back to the penthouse, Trevor decides to apologize to the basement-dwelling couple for the previous baby mix-up, hinting at the chaotic turn of events that have unfolded in the luxurious apartment setting. In a chaotic sequence of events, Trevor inadvertently becomes entangled with a mischievous dog while trying to manage the responsibilities of caring for a baby in a luxury penthouse. After picking up a tenant's pet, he unwittingly brings the dog into the elevator, where it snatches a sausage from the groceries. In a frantic attempt to keep the situation under control, Trevor tries to distract the dog with a shoe keychain, only to have the pet swallow the building's fob instead. As panic sets in, Trevor discovers that the fob still operates despite its unusual predicament within the dog. Meanwhile, he receives a call from Janet, who informs him of her delayed arrival due to inclement weather and instructs him on setting up holiday decorations. Just as he's juggling these tasks, another call from the dog's owner, Annabelle, complicates matters further, prompting Trevor to delay her inquiry about the pet's whereabouts. Trevor finds himself in a humorous predicament as he navigates the chaos of the luxury penthouse. Upon discovering that the Christmas tree has arrived, he faces the challenge of finding a suitable place for it. In a moment of ingenuity, he decides to repurpose the base of a moving statue, lifting the tree with the help of some decorative lights. To conceal the statue from sight, he cleverly hides it in the housekeeper's office, ensuring that the penthouse remains pristine. However, the atmosphere shifts when the dog begins to whine, signaling an urgent need to relieve itself, humorously retrieving the fob from the dog's mess using a doggy bag, ensuring it is safely contained. Upon returning, he unexpectedly encounters Annabelle in the elevator. In an awkward moment, he uses the same doggy bag to press the elevator controls, creating a comical atmosphere as he attempts to maintain composure. The following morning brings a new challenge when Trevor receives a call from Janet, who informs him that her trip from Scotland has been delayed due to transportation issues. As a result, the responsibility of preparing a feast falls entirely on Trevor's shoulders. He receives detailed cooking instructions sent to the printer, prompting him to dedicate several hours to the task, all while the baby observes curiously from a nearby pot, adding a layer of chaos to his culinary endeavors. A festive atmosphere fills the luxurious penthouse as Trevor busily prepares an elaborate Christmas feast, complete with a beautifully arranged nativity scene. In a moment of panic, he hides a baby upstairs, anxiously awaiting the arrival of the owners, who are conspicuously absent. As time passes, he contacts Petra under the guise of assisting Janet, only to learn that the owners are in New York and will not be coming after all. Just then, a police officer arrives, inquiring about the baby. Trevor hurries to the lobby with the child, only to discover that the officer's description does not match the infant he is holding. After explaining the situation, the officer, clearly perplexed, decides to call Georgia for clarification. While they wait, Trevor invites the officer into the apartment, leading to a series of increasingly bizarre interactions that leave the officer bewildered, especially witnessing Trevor's unconventional handling of the situation. The festive atmosphere in the penthouse intensifies as unexpected guests arrive to join the celebration. Initially, a couple returns with a gift for the baby, prompting an invitation to stay. Shortly after, Lionel, who was instructed to leave his keys with Trevor, also comes by, and with an abundance of food available, he is welcome to join the gathering. The elevator opens unexpectedly, allowing a rambunctious dog to escape, leading Annabelle to chase after it and inadvertently remain at the party. Meanwhile, Trevor receives a call from Jess, who, like Maddie, is unable to leave London due to flight cancellations, and expresses a desire to celebrate Christmas with him. He eagerly invites them over. As the gathering grows, Georgia arrives to collect the baby but decides to stay and partake in the festivities. The group enjoys a lively time filled with singing, drinking, and sharing a delicious meal, creating a warm and joyous holiday atmosphere. During a cheerful celebration filled with delicious food, a significant moment occurs when a toast is raised in honor of Trevor and the baby. However, excitement turns to panic when the baby suddenly goes missing. A frantic search ensues, culminating in a surprising discovery in a manger. Just Just as the situation appears to settle, the doorbell rings, signaling an unexpected turn of events. Trevor checks the camera and realizes the penthouse owners have arrived in London unexpectedly, adding to the tension and urgency of the moment.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.